Yes, sir. I'm down for it, Tim. I mean, this is championship day. I mean, the stakes can't be any higher for tonight's race. I am excited to see who's going to take that custom diecast car tonight in tonight's grand prize. A little bit of a shakeup, Tim. Do you want to let the viewers know what's going on with the point standings there?
Well, I just realized my audio wasn't working that entire time, so it is now working and they can hear me. But yes, I will let them know. So tonight, Christopher Darling, your points leader heading into tonight's race, will not be accepting the championship winnings, which is a custom car by Taz Racing Customs that you're going to choose your paint scheme that you actually drive in the game for tonight's race. But let me pull up the points and give you an update. So right now, heading into tonight's race, Bob Quinto is the
How
leader.
cool is that, Tim? You get to take your actual virtual car and turn it into a diecast.
Listen, I need to look into this because I think it'd be awesome to have a 10-4 broadcasting car, my 10-4 broadcasting car, put on as a diecast. So right now, this is what we're looking at here. Okay, Bob Quinto is technically who would come home tonight with the championship. Behind him by 17 points is Nathan Moyer. Behind him by 13 points is Steven Doziak. You go down to the next person line, Ben Mashburn is about 27 back from Steven Doziak. So let me pull out that calculator.
Tim, does a victory ticket tonight? If one of those boys that you mentioned there in the standings, if one of those guys comes out with the victory tonight, does that essentially just seal the championship for one of those guys you mentioned since
I
it's so
believe it.
close?
It does. Yes. For Quinto, Moyer, Doziak. Yes. Mashburn. It's going to be close because he is. Let's see,
Right.
17 plus 27 plus 13. He's 57 points back from Quinto. So it would be a difficult task. I'm not saying it can't be done, but it would be difficult. I think going into tonight's race, Bob just kind of has to not be conservative, but not be aggressive, if that makes sense. Everybody else is going to have to be on their A game.
But I love how we have a winner takes all scenario tonight, Tim. Whoever's going to take that championship, whoever's going to take the victory tonight, is going to walk away with that championship. And I know one of the broadcasts that I was able to do with you, we saw Nathan Moyer come out with that victory in that race. So we know that these boys can race, and I love that the championship race is at Talladega, and we have that number 8 Budweiser car there starting at one of the top rows there. So I'm excited to see who's going to take the championship as the boys roll out there to get this pace lap going here.
Yeah, and our first caution tonight, when that happens, if that happens, I mean, we had a great race last week. As you can see right now, we're looking at Bob. We'll talk to Bob and see. I mean, I would imagine all of a sudden I'd feel a little bit of pressure heading into tonight, especially with all of a sudden learning.
A little bit, but I know these drivers from the race. Yeah, exactly. But I know from the races that we were able to broadcast with each other, these boys know how to keep it clean. We see some really good racing there on these super speedways. They kind of tandem up. They don't really bump into each other a lot. There's not a lot of dirty racing. We see a lot of clean racing from the boys. So hopefully we see the same thing tonight. A lot on the line. I know if anything goes wrong, there's gonna be a lot said, but we'll definitely see who takes the victory tonight.
And I'll give you a little update. Our pole setter for tonight is your grandfather's paint job, so that's kind of awesome.
Oof! I'm excited. Oh, that is beyond awesome. It is, I wasn't around to be able to see that car race on the actual track or actually on the front row. So just to be able to see it tonight, this is a treat for sure. And I know he's probably getting a kick out of it. He still gets cards from back in the day to sign from people
That's
and
awesome.
letters. And so it's just cool that's immortalized in the game.
Well, Championship race is on the line.
64-lap shootout.
24 drivers, or 23 drivers, I can't count, taking us to the green flag here at Talladega. Green flag is in the air. A lot of awesome paint jobs I see. I see the number 8 car, Mark Jones, driving an old school Budweiser car. And Justin White is going to jump to the outside and control that lead right in front of Ryan Vargas in that number 6. Going to give him a huge push here down the backstretch. Now we see this outside lane prevail a lot here at Talladega. You see really good formation there. Head down the backstretch. Vargas jumps down to the inside lane. Wants to go to that lead, and that's what he's going to do. We saw this last week at Daytona. And now leading the outside lane, Justin White in that number 2, followed by Isaac Singleton. We talk about Singleton a lot here at these super speedways. Does a great job. And you can see early on in this one, right now your points leader is taking it easy like we talked about, just sitting back here in the back of the pack.
There we go. I'm getting a cockpit view of Bob Quinto here in the 32. Loving the action here. Fast pace, get the race started off right.
And you can see his RPMs. He's and I don't know if the viewers at home can hear, he's letting off the gas quite a bit, just sitting back there, watch it all unfold under him. He doesn't have to take the aggressive route here tonight, just got to stay within striking distance and to make sure that he doesn't let Nathan Moyer gain more than 17 points.
Exactly, but he does want to stay hungry, though, Tim. He does want to kind of inch that car towards the middle of the pack there, kind of keep that car maybe in the 1 or 2 position, maybe in the 3 position. Not liking this position there for Bob, because we always know that in these super speedway races, there's always 1 or 2 big ones. I know the boys like to keep it clean towards the end of the race, but we always see right in the middle of the pack, we always see those big, somebody gets loose in the middle. That danger zone lane I always like to mention on these super speedways, somebody always gets in the middle and takes out a guy that probably was running clean the entire race, and I hate to see that happen to Bob with so much on the line today.
Tensions can be high, and we're running 3 wide here up front. Oh, and Justin White.
Oh,
there it is.
On the front stretch.
Oh,
there
George
it is.
Burns.
Right in the middle of the pack, and unfortunately it takes out that 8 car you were just talking about. Oh, man.
Let's see. Where's Bob? Bob slams on the brakes and makes it through. Oh, no.
Here, ladies and gentlemen.
Bob does not make it through. Wow.
As we were talking about it, call me Houdini. I need the hat. I need the glasses. I need everything. Or Notre Dame, as the kids like to talk about now. I like to predict things. And as we were talking about it, it happened right in front of us, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, you can't linger back there too long on these super speedway tracks. You're running clean, you try to keep it clean, and unfortunately just nowhere to go once the boys start piling up in front of you.
And what it looked like happened there, man, it looked like some what we call in iRacing netcode. There we go. My brain just couldn't figure out the words. Let me get this replay racked up for us. This was a big one.
And what's netcode for the viewers that aren't?
So netcode, what happens a lot with netcode? It's where the cars kind of don't match up, but a car registers at it as it being hit. So it's almost like a ghost barrier around the car that just kind of moves with you, but nobody knows when it happens because it doesn't happen all the time. So
sure,
it's a weird scenario. All right, here we go. We're going to look here.
A little glitch.
So, yeah, so the number 2 and the number 9 looks like it happened around here. Heading into the tri-oval here, you see Justin White there in the middle lane right behind Christopher Darley in that number 11. And right here, you see the 2 kind of comes down, 9 comes up. See, they didn't touch. There was no contact there. But
There was a little contact, Tim. I did see a little contact from the 9 creep up and clip that corner panel, and
Well, that's here. Let me see if
I
I
don't know
can't
if
give
you
you a
could
better
replay it
angle.
a little bit, but
Yeah, I will.
he did seem to. He was coming up the
He
track there.
was.
You know, if he wasn't drifting up the track, I would say maybe not, but I did see a little bit of contact,
I'll give it to you
maybe
right
from
there.
the
Okay,
9,
so you see, I don't know if you can
right there.
see. There's trying to. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Nope, nope. Bad angle. Another bad angle. Still another bad angle. Ah, I could see. Okay, you see, there's that tiny gap right there between these two.
Right.
So they never actually touch, but they probably would have made
They just
contact
thought they
either way.
touched.
Right.
Right.
So we'll keep this one slow mo and we'll keep it on the chopper cam here. Collects the 9, comes down, collects the 8.
Sky cam.
Yeah, the sky cam. And then where is George Burns? There he is. Watch that 07 car. Just gets clipped right in the back.
Oh,
Goes flying right in. And then you see Bob coming in the picture, slams into the 9 car. That's where he gets collected. George Burns goes for a ride, Talladega Night style here, down the front stretch, collects the 88, the 77.
and happy Hanukkah to those viewers out there, because unfortunately he was spinning like a dreidel down the track there, because
Yeah.
he went for a ride.
And we're going to see if I can't go back. We're going to ride on board with George Burns. So hope you all didn't eat recently. It's going to be a wild ride.
And as we watch George Burns kind of take his wild ride here, I kind of saw in the replay there that kind of look at it again, is that the middle lane again caused another big accident. That the middle car there just got left by himself and had no help, nowhere to go. And once you get tapped a little bit, it's game over in that middle lane.
And George almost made it through and just, oh man.
Nowhere to go, and he's going for the ride at that point. As Junior likes to say, you grip the bottom of the steering wheel and you hold on. You don't put your arms up, you don't throw them out the window, you don't do anything. You grab the bottom of the steering wheel.
Actually, surprising. I remember, what was it, Danica Patrick, when she came into the series, they would watch her onboard, and she would let go of the wheels so that way it didn't do anything to her arms. I thought that was interesting. Well, here we are, lap 5.
Junior was talking about how he was in a truck accident way back in the day, and as he was flipping, he didn't grab the wheel, and his arm went out the window. And luckily, he was able to grab his arm back to the window and grab the wheel. So just imagine, had he not grabbed the wheel, we would have not saw Junior driving. But
that would have been terrible.
Oh yeah. Quite a story. If you haven't watched the Dale Jr. podcast, definitely go on there and catch a few episodes.
Listen,
a lot of episodes
I was catching up on some episodes that I missed the other day, and I love the stories that come out from that podcast. I was listening to the Jerry Nadeau episode the other day, and I remember Jerry Nadeau was doing great until he had those 2 wrecks that, the doctors told him that he couldn't suffer another concussion like that again. And he had to ultimately stop racing for Hendrick Motorsports, drove the 25 car. And I can see it in my head right now. It's just, he's been bringing on guys that we haven't heard from in a long time. And here it is. So right now, Nathan Moyer is your leader.
Hold it down.
While Bob Quinto.
We talked about that before the broadcast. There is if one of those guys that you had mentioned I think it was Moyer, Quinto, and
Doziak.
There's one other, Doziak. If one of those guys comes out with the victory, it's their championship. So this is it's an exciting finish there, Tim. I'm excited to be here for this final championship race here, and if you like excitement, this is the place to be, because they're coming up on lap 7 here. The boys are coming to the green flag here. Going to take them around 1 and 2. We're going to be Moyer. Singleton's up there with him up there. Hillary, here we go. And actually, the green flag waves, and we're 7 laps in.
I do not see Doziak in tonight's field. running through the order.
It's going to be a two-car shootout there.
Yeah.
Between Quinto in the 7th position and Moyer, who now has the lead coming to the backstretch. Big racing here by Moyer, leading him down the backstretch here, coming to round 3 and 4.
And you can see those Max Graphic guys on that very outside lane. Darling and Mashburn going to the way outside. And this is the most laps that we will race in this series tonight. So these boys are really going to have their hands full here tonight at Talladega. And you can see, look at that way outside lane, getting a really good run. And Darling's going to drop down into the middle lane now, get behind Shane Ward. And these guys are going from the back to the front in no time flat. And then back out to the outside lane. And there's Vargas now coming through in that number 6 in that middle lane. And just look how fast they are on that outside lane.
I am seeing a lot of speed on the outside lane there. And as you mentioned, this is the longest race of the series. And one of the things I'd like to mention, that's actually one of the fastest cautions I've seen from this series so far of being on the broadcast with you here, Tim. So that's any indication of how aggressive and how bad these boys want it tonight. It's showing definitely, because that was about 5 or 6 laps and we already got our first caution. So I think the last broadcast we didn't get our first caution until maybe lap 20 or 25. So it was a late caution. But you're seeing Hillary up there, Darling behind him, Tompkins kind of shuffling around. Boys kind of just racing on the backstretch here, kind of just reshuffling, kind of seeing what works for everybody. As you talked about, there is a lot of speed on that top side lane there. I see a lot of guys kind of getting caught in the middle, kind of shuffle back. Saw an accident earlier in the race caused by that middle lane. We'll just see which lane works out best for you, Tim.
And I think, I'm not sure, I didn't look at the update. iRacing's seasonal update came out today, so there could have been some changes to cautions to make them go faster if there's no cars a lap down. So that could have been a key for that fast caution. Oh, and Darling gets spun right when I talk about him taking the lead.
Oh.
What a save.
No caution, though. Everybody's staying clean.
What a great job on that one. And everybody else checking up and not getting involved in a wreck. The stakes are high, and Mashburn is your leader right now with Gracias on the way outside, being pushed by Ryan Vargas.
Bringing that Jeff Gordon energy all the way to Talladega. I'm saying, I mean, we always joke about it every broadcast, that 24 car. You're a little biased, but we do have a lot of steam coming up on that high side lane there, so I don't know if Mashburn's going to hold that lead down for too long. A lot of aggressive driving on that front stretch, Tim. I'm seeing not a lot on the back stretch, which is surprising on the super speedways, because that's when you usually see the boys kind of shuffle out, kind of get out of that draft a little bit, trying to pull those slingshot maneuvers, kind of get them engaged. We're seeing that on the front stretch, so we'll see if that pans out throughout the race here, or we'll see if they kind of tame it down on the front stretch.
And you see they all stay pretty single file in their lanes. The outside lane only has 3 cars hooked together, with the number 8 of Mark Jones coming up on them. You know what? If you weren't going to do it, I was going to do it. Mark Jones. Oh, man, that goes back.
I do it with Mac Jones, the New England quarterback, too, so it's too
That's
good.
pretty funny. Oh, yeah. You can't pass it up.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
We're seeing a new leader here. Gracias taking him around the pack down the backstretch.
Jumps down in front of Mashburn. Mashburn all over that back bumper.
And one of the things that you had mentioned before the broadcast, if we have any viewers joining us late here, is that Darling is going to surrender the prize if he does win tonight. So it's basically just going to be a 2-car shootout between, it was Nathan Moyer, and Bob Quinto.
Now, I will say, so a crazy wreck could happen and we're going four wide there down the front stretch right now. Wow. They're going around Nathan Moyer all the way to the outside lane. But if something was to happen to Bob and happen to Moyer and they finished in the back and Mashburn won, the points race would be so tight and he may come away the winner.
We shall see, Tim. I mean, this is quite an exciting race so far, only 13 laps in. So, if Mashburn can hold it down, but we'll see with these races, though, because we still have a lot more cautions to go. We have a lot more things that are going to happen. It's not maybe it's going to happen. It's going to happen on a track like this. So, we'll see if Mashburn can keep that nose out there. As you see, he's got a lot of speed. He's got to contend with on the outside lane there. We're seeing a car get left out by themselves, get a little reshuffled out there. I think that is Gracias in the number 1 car, unfortunately. He was running up in the lead. Now you see you get left out in that open air all by yourself. You just lose so much momentum. He's going to have to refile back in there and gain some more track position.
And Doug Neal now goes a lap down in that number 77, pulls out of the way of the leaders. Maybe some strategy there. Darling is all
174 car, man. They're leading him around 3 and 4. Mashburn just retook him on the front stretch here, leading him back to about 15 laps in this championship race here, ladies and gentlemen. This Taz Racing Customs 1-7.
And looks like that 174 is going to lead that lap. See if we can't check in with our leaders.
Because of the paint job. But we did see a lot of speed from him at Daytona the last race we did broadcast. He ran up in the front most of the race. I think top 10 was the race. I think he was caught up in one of those unfortunate late race accidents, as there always are. But we did see a lot of speed, so maybe he's hitting his peak right at the end of the season.
And I'm looking at, I believe. Oh, wrong button. Winner. Yeah, he won the third race of the season there in that 174 at the Daytona International Speedway. So he is a proven winner here at this in this series. Just see if he can bring it home tonight too.
Seeing a lot of speed from that high side line, as I mentioned before. A lot of cars are trying to get out to that outside lane, try to get some speed. Once you try to make that move, you can get left by yourself. It's only a 2-car tandem against a 3-4-car tandem. You might get left out, but a big aggressive move to take over the lead by Ken Zero there. Leading him around 3 and 4 now, going back to the front stretch. And a lot of speed there. That was a big aggressive reshuffle there.
And there goes Vargas, goes to the outside with Mashburn. Ulrich's going to pull up behind him with Vickery.
They are not taking it easy tonight, Tim. They are driving hard. This is a championship race tonight. You are seeing it from the drivers. I'm loving it. I'm loving the aggressive driving because usually when we did these super speedway tracks, we didn't see this. We saw very calm, very collected racing until about 10, 15 to go. But these boys tonight, they're hard on the wheel.
And it looks like Doug Neal's going to go a second lap down. He just went to the down pit road.
Vargas just took over the lead from Gonzero there. You got Moyer crept back up to the 3rd position, Hillary in the 4th position, you got Mashburn in the 5th, Vickery in the 6th position, you got Jones in the 7th position, you got Ward in the 8th position, Gracias got reshuffled all the way back down to the 9th position after trying to make that move to the outside, and Ledoux in the 10th position that rounds out your top 10, about 18 laps here in the 64-lap race in the Taz Customs 170 championship race tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
And just like that, Moyer's leading that outside lane. I actually got a message from Santa from your request last week, and Sounds like he's trying to get you that computer you want.
I hope so. Yeah, computer or a wheel. A wheel would be nice. Anything like that. I've actually never tried the iRacing simulator before. I know growing up in North Carolina, we had a place that actually had full rig simulators that you could actually race and drive. And
nice.
That was it didn't last long because I think it was before its time, but that was the closest I ever got to doing like the iRacing and stuff like that. And I know Junior's been a big component of this, and it was really neat to check it out during COVID and actually watch it on Fox. And this is really exciting, and I'll take the time and opportunity to thank you, Tim, for having me on these broadcasts, and thank Chris Darling for having us on to do these races. Again, we enjoy it. It's very exciting, and thank you again.
Yeah, and I do know that they are currently planning the next season of the Super Speedway Series. So when we get those details, we will, of course, post them on our Facebook page. I imagine they're going to take some time off for the holidays here and, let everybody spend time with their family and just kind of take a much-needed little break. 12 weeks is a long – I mean, it's not a long season, but, I mean, it's a big commitment for these guys. And I think
you are seeing a lot of great action tonight, though, Tim. I know with the break coming up and everything, seeing the boys kind of put everything in tonight's race, and it's really given a lot of viewers to turn into.
And going through the list of drivers, looks like only 4 drivers will have completed all 12 races here tonight. And that would have been Shane Ward, Doug Neal, Stephen Ford, and Bob Quinto.
And that happens in iRacing, and I know the race that I do, we actually had a guest appearance. We had somebody pop in, a NASCAR driver pop in for a little bit. Raced against the boys. He came out with the victory, but it was definitely close. So, definitely exciting series, though, Tim. I know these guys, they race hard, they race clean. We're seeing very competitive racing here. We've got Vargas in 1, Moyer in 2, Mashburn in 3, and that 174 again, creeping in the 4th position, coming around to that front stretch again. Really exciting racing here tonight at Talladega in this championship race.
And from flipping down the front stretch, back up here into 7th place, George Burns is back up here in the mix. Going to go to try to look to the inside of the 8 car. They say you should go ahead and stay behind him. But now to the inside, Vargas and Mashburn come down. Now Mark Jones is going to be your leader for that outside lane. I love it. And Christopher Darling looks like he is getting close to being lapped. He is about 43 seconds off of the leaders. Whoa, 174 gets a little loose there.
Big drive in there coming around the corner. We're seeing some cars there shuffle, trying to form that line on the outside. But if they don't try to tandem with Mark Jones there in the 8th, I think it's going to be really hard to gain any kind of momentum there coming from that far outside lane there. We're seeing Vargas lead him to the line, so it's some really good driving from Vargas. And that was one of the names that was popping up a lot in these broadcasts that I've done with you before. Vargas is another car that's always ran top 10. Ran really strong at these speedway races, so not one of the names you called a lot. Not one of the names that was always up in the pack. Always a car that ran hard, though. Always ran strong, clean, but could never get across the line first. Maybe tonight's that night. So we'll see if he can hold off that pack that's come with Moyer, Canzero, Mashburn. It's going to be tight, Tim.
Now, my question is, could Vargas go 2 for 2? It's going to be difficult.
See. It's going to be very difficult. I think tonight we're going to see some of the best driving out of these guys just because of what's on the line. 1. 2, it's the last race of the season, so you don't get it tomorrow. You don't get it next week. This is it. So this is the finale. So if you want to walk out with those Christmas bragging rights or whatever holiday you celebrate, if you want to walk out with those bragging rights over the break, this is it. This is the time to take it. This championship race in this Taz Customs 170.
And Jeffrey Vickery and Shane Ward jumped to outside lane. and looking to overcome or overtake Vargas here. Looks like they're catching Christopher Darling, who was involved in that single car almost spin, but he saved it. He's going to go a lap down here early on at Talladega. But now he's going to be able to jump into this pack and stay with them.
Now, Tim, if you have the lap speeds available,
yes,
who's running fastest tonight?
Let's actually, I think I can show the viewers. Let's see if I can't bring that up.
We can kind of see if there's any differential, or if anybody's running stronger than anybody, or if anybody's just caught up in the pack.
Looks like Gracias is your fastest right now to 50.86. Everybody else is in the 51s down the board.
We saw Gracias up at the top of the pack, but he made an aggressive move to try to go to the way outside to try to gain some momentum, and he just got reshuffled. But we see him as I'm talking about him. He makes another aggressive move to the outside. He's caught back up to that lead pack, so he could be the fastest car on the track the way he's racing. But unfortunately, if he doesn't try to tandem with that pack, he's just going to get left and have to reshuffle every other lap.
And I'm wondering, look like John's trying to go with him, but then he's decided not to. Looked like Jones was going to go with him, but he went down to the inside lane. And now Chris Darling's going to pull up right behind him. So he finally has that help that he wants.
Can't find anybody to work with tonight, Tim.
This is what he wants right here.
Here comes Chris Darling. Oh, yeah.
And he's trying to catch that draft off the back of that 174 and then maybe shoot back to the outside. And he's going to take John with him this time. And Darling. So now they've got that very outside lane finally working for them.
I'm just nervous for those cars right in that middle lane there. Those three cars that you're seeing, the 21, I believe it's the 39, if I can see it right on the broadcast. I'm just worried about those cars right in that middle lane there, because you're seeing lines stack up on either side of them. They just don't have much help in the middle. So if anything goes wrong, if anybody gets loose, they're going to be caught up in a big wreck.
And now here comes Mashburn.
What do you think is going to be the strategy here coming on?
Oh, pit road. Moyer.
Here we go. Green flag pit stops.
Moyer.
Strategy, so this is perfect.
I don't know if Moyer got it slowed down in time. He came in there hot.
Very hot.
So this is the first round of green flag pit stops that we're going to see here tonight, coming at lap 27.
Is that about the window we're going to see, Tim, for the rest of the race here? About 27, 28 green flag laps there?
Yeah, typically it's around 25, 26, but there was that caution that did change a little bit. But some of these guys actually came down pit road during that caution. Vargas was in that list of guys. I want to say, let me take a look here. Vargas was, Canzanero, Vickery, Shane Ledoux. So a lot of these guys had already come down pit road. So it's going to be interesting to see when the next round is going to come for these guys. Could be about 5 or 6 laps from right now. And you see they're getting single file, so this could be...
This might be the time for those pit stops.
Right.
And this is the moment, I know, with the super speedway tracks, this is the moment that we see a lot of reshuffling. We're going to see a lot of cars go under green flag pit stops here. We're going to see a lot of cars come out, maybe not pit, maybe get a lot of...
and here they come.
Laps, run a few laps around. Here we go. And the leaders are pitting.
Everybody gets slowed up pretty good. Coming down pit road.
For the viewers that are new to iRacing, Tim, how hard is it? Because I've seen a few guys miss their pit stalls. How hard is it to actually hit your pit stall?
Well, you just said that, and Garrett Gleason just missed his. And I'm not sure what's going on. Colin Ulrey back there on pit road. I don't know if he has a penalty. Looks like he's down and away. And then Nate Moyer all by himself out here coming through the tri-oval. George Burns is your leader right now with Doug Neal still out there. So George Burns and Doug Neal still out there. He is your current leader. And Nate Moyer now coming around, catching these guys that went down pit road. Coming around. Oh, somebody's going through the grass. Looks like Justin White went off track. That's something else you have to be careful here at Talladega is your re-entry because your tires are new, maybe. I mean, some people, looks like they did take tires, quite a few guys, but a lot of them look like they just took fuel. So the tires are going to be a little slick when you come back out, and staying down there on the apron is a very difficult task. Here we see George Burns now coming down pit road.
And especially under these green flag pit stops, too, because you're going to have cars that stayed out. You're going to have different pit windows for a lot of these cars, as you mentioned, that some of them pit during the yellow flag. So it is a skill. It's a skill to hit your pit stop. It's a skill to re-enter back onto the track. So it's not as easy as just going in and hitting a button, getting your pit job done, and then going right back out. It's not as easy as some people think it is. So, but we're seeing that 174 car, man. I am pumped to see it. He's leading the pack. He had the quickest pit stop out first, leading the way again. Running at 54.10 for the lap time right now. So he's definitely the fastest car on the track right now after those pit stops.
And as we see the field regroup and get back together, right now we're going to check in with your points leader. Let's see where he is at. Bob Quinto is in 11th right now, just in front of Nate Moyer. So as of right now,
at the front there, Tim,
Bob would be taking it over. Let's go take a look. Yeah, Vickery goes to the outside with Darling. Now these guys,
he thought about it for a minute there, Tim. He thought about
that
to the inside, but he said he was going to keep it chill tonight. I don't know about that, Tim. Maybe 34 laps in, he said, you know what? Maybe I'll drive the wheels off of this thing tonight. You know, I'm not winning the championship, but I can still get that W.
And he is still a lap down right now. But with these guys being as racy as they are, this is going to allow the other guys that are single file to catch them. As you see, Jason Garcia, Shane Ward, and Garrett Gleason catch this front pack. So now the pack has grown into 7 drivers. Then we go back 6 seconds to this second pack, led by Stephen Ford, Bob, Nate, Jason, Shane, Chaz, and Mark. And it looks like George Burns is there as well. So if these guys could get single file, they'd be able to catch that front pack no problem. But this front pack, just come back to see Mashburn get a little loose on that outside lane.
Are showing Darling as a lap down?
Yes. Well, Darling is now at the tail end of the lead lap. He's the last car on the lead lap since he is in front of all the leaders.
So he is just holding it down the front.
So if a caution were to come out right now, he would come back around to the end of the field, and Scott Tompkins would be your lucky dog, who is in that 25 car. He is also a lap down in that front pack.
Gotcha. See some really good driving, though, after those green flag pit stops. You got Vargas back up front there. You got Canzero in that 174. You got Ward in that 39 car in the 3rd position. You got Shane Vickery in the 4th position. Gracias all the way back up to 5th. I'm telling you, he's got a lot of speed tonight in that one car. We've seen it a lot. Just about a little over halfway in tonight's race. You've seen it a lot from him tonight, running that high line. A lot of aggressive moves, trying to get to the outside there. He's putting it all on the table, betting it all, making all the gambles, but you've seen it kind of not pay off. He's racing, though. He's racing in that pack, trying to get back up to the front there. Trying to check the top 5 there for the viewers to see if we have any championship contenders up there. Not currently. We got Ben Mashburn in the 6th position, and then we got Bob Quinto in the 9th position, and then Ben Moyer just moved out of the top 10, or Nathan Moyer, excuse me. So we'll see which one of those drivers can hold down that top back position there. We talked about a victory tonight takes home that championship, so we'll see. They're kind of lingering in that pack, but we know in these super speedway tracks that we're going to have a wreck towards the end of the race or with about 10 to go. So we'll see who can stay out in that clean air and take home that victory.
And right now, this front pack is actually putting distance between themselves and that second pack, led by, right now, Mark Jones.
I've seen about a 9-second difference between 7th and 8th place there.
So this front pack
in the middle lane by himself. There we go.
And nobody's going to go with him. Everybody's going to split him down the middle.
And that's what happens with that. I like to nickname that middle lane the danger zone, because nothing good happens in that middle lane. You don't gain the positions. You don't usually gain any speed. Most of the time, you're caught up in a wreck. So, if I was in the game, if I was driving, if I got in the middle lane, I'd try my best to try to reshuffle into the back.
See, my favorite is that very outside lane against the wall. Love that line.
And as you were saying that, Tim, we saw Ben Mashburn actually disengage himself there from the pack to try to move to the high outside lane there, try to gain some speed there. So we'll see if we can tandem up with Gracias, who also has a lot of speed tonight, and see if they can kind of get up there. And we're seeing Vargas kind of slide back into that position by himself. So we'll see if the Mashburn, Gracias, and Vargas can push that three-car tandem to the front. I'm thinking they will, though, because we're seeing a lot of speed out of those guys tonight.
Oh, Mashburn is really loose behind Vargas, but he's trying to keep that car under control.
Coming around the corner here.
And he's going to push Vargas right to the lead. And Vickery's going to jump out to that outside lane along with Shane Ward. And just like that, the outside lane has more cars than the inside.
And they're about pulling away from those leaders, Tim. You saw almost all 3 cars clear Darling, even though Darling is a lap down. He's leading the pack, but you almost saw the entire 3-car tandem there go past Darling with so much speed.
And now Gracias is going to lead that outside lane to the front, followed by Vickery and Canzanaro and Shane Ward.
And I really feel like with this pack of drivers we have here, they got about 11-second difference. You're going to see a lot of skillful driving, I believe, out of these drivers here. A lot of big names up there that have been racing really good all night. You know, we got Gracias, Vargas, who've been basically 1-2 all night. Mashburn's up there. We got the 174 Quinto. We got Bob Quinto hanging out in the 9th position, though. You know, if he takes home that victory, he is almost about 12 seconds off the pace here, though. Unfortunately, might take a caution. We'll see a caution. I know we'll see a caution towards the end of the race, but I'm really liking this kind of back and forth battle between. It's almost like a game of chess, but it's not chess.
Yeah.
It's 200-mile-an-hour racing down the backstretch. So, you know, it's a lot of give and take. It's a lot of when can I make my move? When, you know, who can I pair with? What kind of strategy can I use? As I'm talking about strategy, 21 car kind of disengaged from the pack. Maybe to reform something there on the outside lane there. Seeing Gracias and the 174 there car. 2 cars that have ran top of the pack all night. Kind of reforming there, kind of take it as we see Vargas taking to the line with about 24 to go here.
Yeah, and the last time these guys went down pit road, lap 29, Moyer on a different pit strategy than them. He pitted on lap 27, and George Burns pitted on lap 31. So we will see how that's going to play out as these guys improve their lead to almost 14 seconds over this second pack back here. I think the issue with this second pack is they've not found a strong leader for the pack, because once you find the right car to lead this pack, you would probably be able to catch these leaders.
You would think so, Tim, but I just don't think there's enough speed in that pack. I know there's a lot of skillful drivers and a lot of guys that we talk about every broadcast, but I just don't think on this track, on this night, there's enough speed in that second pack foregoing a caution to catch this pack. If we run green flag wide open, I just don't think there's enough speed in the second pack. And you see it every lap, that distance is getting more and more and more away from that front pack. Just feel like you have the best cars in the entire race in this front pack here. A lot of speed, a lot of movement, a lot of aggressive driving, a lot of big moves, big money moves, as they say. So let's see if I think one of the big names that we should keep our eye on, Tim, with about 23 to go here coming down the front stretch, you're going to see Vargas again take him to the line. Close, though, is Ben Mashburn. Ben Mashburn, if he takes the victory here, the closest guy he has in championship contention is Bob Quinto, about 15 seconds off. So we know from previous races that's not the position we want to be in at the end of the race because of those big race cautions at the end. So I think Ben has the best position to take home the victory tonight, and we'll see how all those. I'm not the biggest math guy, but we'll see how all those equations and everything figure out at the end to see if he takes home that custom diecast car here tonight in the Taz Racing Customs 170 championship race of tonight's event.
Yeah, and these guys just continue to expand their lead. Mark Jones back. You see, these guys are just a little too racy to be able to catch this front pack.
A little too racy. I like it, Tim. I like the terminology. A little too racy. A little bit too competitive, being 16 seconds off the lead pack.
Yeah, and whenever I do iRacing and this kind of situation happens with me, it's difficult for me not to get frustrated as to why we're not working together to catch that pack. Because here we are, 3 wide, back here for about 8th place. But look at that powerhouse team of Simbox Racing to the front in that 77 and 971. Right, and there you go, the points leader and second place right next to each other here.
Quinto there in that second pack there. We're keeping an eye on that second pack. Unfortunately, the second pack, ladies and gentlemen, is about 17 seconds off that lead pack. So if you're cheering on anybody in the second pack here, definitely show them some love. They're going to need it. Before throwing any cautions here, we have about 20 to go. We are going to maybe see a few pit stops there at the end there, Tim. I know these guys, they pitted. There's a few of them that pitted a little early. We have a few different pit windows for a few of these guys.
Yeah, and I want to take a look at, I'm going to throw up the last lap times. So you can see here, that front pack, Vargas and Ward ran 51.77. Meanwhile, the second pack's running 52s. So that is a big difference in time lap after lap.
And we're seeing it, Tim. We're seeing that gap kind of stretch out.
Actually, that time by, 51.51. They were faster than the leaders that time by. But you have to keep that energy. That's the problem.
Exactly. And we're seeing a lot of energy, Dragon Ball Z energy, I suppose, at the top of the pack here. Seeing a lot of dice and a lot of good driving here out of these guys. We're seeing Vargas in that one car and Ward leading back to the line here. Going to have about 18 to go. Green flag racing here in the Taz Customs 170. Great racing tonight, though, ladies and gentlemen. If you're tuning in here, watching us on YouTube or watching us on Facebook, this has been a great race. I know it's separated a lot. We're seeing about 7 or 8 drivers here at the lead pack, but it has been great. We saw a caution about 6 or 7 laps in from just hard, aggressive racing. It wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't anything just to spin out. It's been great so far, Tim. I'm really enjoying it with about 18 to go here. I don't know about you, but it's been fun. It's been great. I'm excited to see who's going to take home that championship.
I just realized I don't see Darling or... Yeah, where did Chris Darling go? Looks like he possibly...
Oh, we got a new leader, Tim. We got a new leader on the track here. Quinto on that 174 car and that Pure leader. Gonna lead him to the line with 17 to go here. He's been running strong all night, Tim. He's gonna lead him around 1 and 2 here. Gonna lead the pack. The 39 car Ward right behind him. That Vargas right behind him. And you got Mashburn.
Oh, we got pit stops. Guys from the second pack. Shane Ledoux, Stephen Ford, George Byrne, Jason Shue all come down pit road. And that leaves...
Have we seen any of the championship contenders pit yet?
Not yet. They are still out on the track.
Who knows, Tim, with about 17 to go here, though. Pit early might actually pay off for some of these guys because you would have the track position over this second window of pit stops. So for these championship contenders, that might be the way to get your car out front. If you go ahead and stay in the second pack, you make those pit stops first, you might hold the track position for that first pack.
Right now, this pack is about 17.5 seconds behind.
We're just keeping an eye on this pack here, ladies and gentlemen, because we do have a few championship contenders in this pack. Otherwise, a pack that's 17 seconds off, we probably wouldn't be keeping an eye on too much, just because there are championship contenders in that pack. We are keeping an eye on it to see if they can catch up to this first pack of really skillful drivers tonight. We're seeing some great racing out of these guys. I don't want to say they saved the best for last because we do have a few race winners in this pack up here, but this is great. They've carried it over from the week previous, and they're racing really hard.
And it looks like Jason Shue had a penalty on pit road. A minute and 36 seconds.
And that just about might do it for his race tonight there, Tim.
Yeah, because he's got quite a few guys. He's got Scott Tompkins in that 25 car. He's the first car lap down. Then you got Stephen Ford, Shane Ledoux, George Burns, all right there together. Then Isaac Singleton back in this second pack, a lap down. Oh, and we've got green flag pit stops from the leaders.
We got green flag pit stops there, Tim. And we'll see who's going to come out here pit road first, because we saw that out of the 174 car there, that last green flag pit stops there.
Oh, something happened with Gleason. Ooh. Gleason missed his pit stop again.
And Mash, unfortunately. Did we see contact with the 24 car there in pit lane?
I think it went. Mashburn was already going into his pit, so it made him invisible. So I think he was good.
Okay, I was worried about contact there from the 24 because that would have been really unfortunate.
But that's gonna, unfortunately, that's gonna take Gleason away from this front pack.
With this re-entry, Tim, knowing with so much on the line, you want to beat those guys back on the track position. Do you get a little heavy on the gas, knowing that even though you can get the car loose, but you want to get on the track before everybody else, or do you just want to kind of stay in line with everybody?
It's so difficult. Because it really just depends on where you're at in the race, like what's at stake for you. As you see right here, Nate Moyer is now your leader from that second pack. But look who's right there, right with him.
He's good to go. Bob Quinto. That was one of the things I was talking about there in that green flag window there. Making pit stops, and you gain that track position over that front pack that they had a 17-second lead over. But you see what happens with these green flag pit stops here with 13 to go, coming around 3 and 4. We got Nate Moyer leading him with Bob Quinto. We got 1-2 in the points right now, ladies and gentlemen. We got 1-2 in the race, championship race tonight. Thank you for tuning in to the Taz Racing Customs 170. We got Nate Moyer. You're gonna see him come to pit road now. Nate Moyer, Bob Quinto, they're coming in. Those are our championship competitors, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll see where they kind of get back out onto the track.
Should be their final pit stop. 19 seconds back is the previous leaders. They're now going to come through the tri-oval and pass that second pack. And now this front pack is only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars. Garrett Gleason all the way back here, about 6.5 seconds back with the Scott Tompkins.
And Tim, arguably some of the best cars of the night, because we've seen some of the same names up there in the top 5 majority of the night. So it's the cars that have had the most speed, held it down there at the front, racing for that championship tonight. Unfortunately, we don't have any championship competitors in this front pack other than Ben Mashburn. If he takes the victory tonight. Oh, we saw getting down the apron. That was one of the things you had mentioned about, Tim. You get down there, it's slippery slick down there. Yeah, I know it's wintertime for most viewers, but it's definitely not wintertime in Talladega. That's for sure.
These guys come down to 11 laps to go here at Talladega. For being the longest race of the season, it's been going pretty fast.
It has, Tim. We saw a caution there very early in the race, and I don't believe we've seen another caution since then. Maybe 1 or 2 along the lines, if I'm remembering correctly. But other than that, it's been pretty wide open, these green flag runs here. But it hasn't been boring restrictor plate green flag racing. This has been very exciting. A lot of give and take, a lot of new leaders. We're seeing Gracias out in that lead. He has been the fastest car all night long, from lap times to pit stops. He has kept it out front, and now he is holding it down. I'm getting Dale Earnhardt Sr. vibe to that black and white paint job there, because he is definitely racing it like that tonight. He has made aggressive moves. He has tried to bet it all, put it all on the table. Like they say, go big or go home, and he's tried it all night, and now it is paying off with 10 to go here, coming to that backstretch.
He's doing a great job of holding down. You see some lap down traffic they're catching. Looks like Shane Tierney, your last car on the lead lap right now in that number 19 that they're catching.
Keeping an eye, kind of one eye on this lead pack here and one eye on the championship standings. We do have Nate Moyer ahead of Bob Quinto.
But that's not going to be enough, unfortunately, because what's going to happen here right now, that's only 1 spot ahead of Bob. That's going to gain you 1 point. I mean, it's difficult. I mean, and right now these guys are, Nate is with his teammate of Doug Neal. Bob is by himself. Stephen Ford leads kind of like a second pack here that's going to catch Bob very shortly. They're catching him at a very fast rate, about a second a turn. So they'll be caught up to Bob here very shortly. And they're probably going to blow around him, and that's going to make him lose some more spots. Because right now he's 2.5 seconds away. You can see him here out the front of Stephen Ford's car. Yeah, they're going to catch him probably coming out of the corner.
Championship there. I just saw that Ben Mashburn actually kind of slid down to that 5th position there. So as we were talking about the championship, that's one of the guys that's kind of on the outside looking in. He has to get a victory tonight to even have a chance at the championship. But he's losing little positions there in that lead pack.
And there we go. Stephen Ford's going to lead this group right around Bob. Bob's going to try to catch the tail end of these guys so he can stay with somebody for a draft. Oh, the number 8 car disappeared there for a second. We'll go back up and check out up front.
The leaders, yeah, exactly. was going to say that Gracias and Vargas are basically running almost, if I'm seeing it correctly, close to identical lap times. I mean, they're right on top of one another. We've seen that majority of the race. You're coming around 1 and 2 here, kind of leading them to the backstretch. Got 7 to go here, but we are seeing Ben Mashburn in that 3rd position. And Zero is running that 4th position. He's been up there all night. It's been that same 4 or 5 car tandem that I liked him. And I think it's just because these guys have figured out which lines work, which line give them the most speed, which guys to work with to get them out front. You're seeing with about 7 to go here, going to come around that front stretch, going to get that 6 to go here marker here. Before going any other cautions here, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see this thing run green to the end, and it's going to be great because you're going to have a lot of competitive driving here at this front pack. Going to come to the line here with about going to lead. Gracia's going to lead into the pack, and it'll be about 6 to go. We are seeing Mashburn, though, picking up some lap speed there. He is coming for Gracias in the 1 position. 1 car in the 1 position. We'll see. I know I have a lot of bias in that 174 car there, Ken Zero, running my grandfather's paint scheme, that Peter later Chevy. Actually, he's got the Ford. It was a Chevy back in the day, but no mind here, but we are seeing a lot of aggressive racing here.
And I want to give a shout out to Jason Gracias. He's that number 1 car gives me that old number 99 Exide car from Jeff Burton back in the day.
Big aggressive racing there coming down on that front stretch there. We saw Ben Mashburn try to go to the outside, try to get some speed. They're going to lead him to the line. It's going to be 5 to go, ladies and gentlemen. This Taz Racing Customs 170, this championship race. Whoever takes the championship tonight gets a custom die-cast race car of their paint scheme. Man, that is awesome. You're going to see Gracias in the 1 position, Canzero in the 2nd position, Mashburn in the 3rd, Vargas in 4th, Vickery in 5th.
Now this is where things are going to get interesting. Are these guys going to get too aggressive and cause an accident?
Coming down 3 and 4 here. Gracias is
coming down to the final laps. That's not something they want to have happen because they don't want to have the rest of the guys up here racing for this win.
Oh man, I felt the speed when they came off 3 and 4 there, so I know how fast these boys are running. Going to have Vargas and lead him to the line here with 4 to go, ladies and gentlemen, this championship race. Coming around 1 and 2 here, it's going to be Vargas, Gracias, tandem. We've seen it all night long there, Tim. They're going to be 1 and 2, coming around 1 and 2. Ooh, big Dyson racing here. I'm getting sweaty just talking about it, Tim. I can feel how aggressive these guys are running tonight. This is very competitive racing here with 4 to go. Championship is on the line. I'm actually not seeing any of except for Nate Moore in the 7th position, so the championship might be his if he holds down that 7th position, but we are keeping an eye on the race winner here between Gracias and Vargas. Going to come down to that front stretch with about 3 to go.
Right now, where Bob and Nate stand, Bob is about 5 positions back from Nate, so I don't think that's going to be enough for Nate to bring it home tonight, but I mean, look at Ben Mashburn. He is very close to the potential win, and it could have
a
lot to do.
Yeah. Here too.
As we are on lap
Quinto
61,
with the championship in that 12th position.
3 laps to go here at Talladega, and this is something you don't see often. There's quite a few guys in this front pack mixed up that are laps down, so it's man, Nate Moyer has to come down pit road. Did he not have enough fuel?
Oh no, he's out of gas. We got Nate Moyer out of gas. This might be Bob Quinto's championship, ladies and gentlemen. We got 3 to go here. We got Gracias leading him, Conzero in the 174 there. Vargas just took over the 2nd position.
2 laps to go.
Coming around 1 and 2 here. Oh man, I'm getting jacked.
And I think Nate Moyer's championship hopes just flew out the window because now he is
quicker than Moses Alou trying to go for a foul ball in the Chicago Cubs series. I mean, the championship window just closed just like that. But we are seeing very competitive racing, though. These boys have a lot to race for, though. This is the finale race. This is the last race of the season. You want to go into this break. You want to go into next year with that win underneath your belt. You want to get that for that 174 car. This will be the second win of the season here in the finale. Ooh, and a big aggressive move to the inside there to take over the lead there. To lead
Vargas going to go to the outside. 3 wide here for the final lap.
Red flag, Tim. We got 3 wide going into 1 and 2, and it's going to be Gracias, unfortunately, left out in the middle lane. We got the 174 car. We got Vargas on the outside, leading them down to the backstretch there.
Ben Mashburn.
We got Vargas.
Oh, they're catching lap traffic. The 1 car pushing that 24 car.
Vargas, 24. See a lot of speed there on the backstretch, coming around 3 and 4 here, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. This is for the season. This is it. This is big there by Vargas and Mashburn to take over that lead. That might be enough to take that win here, coming around that front stretch here, Tim. This is going to be it.
Oh, what's Mashburn going to do?
Mashburn, Vargas.
Like he's going to go way to the outside. Nobody's going to go with him.
Is it going to be enough? Is it going to be enough? Vargas to the inside.
Oh, but he's getting pushed, Mashburn. Oh, Vargas is going to win it.
Vargas to the line. Mashburn in second. Oh, man, what a finish there, Tim.
What a race.
Man, what a big win there from Vargas.
And it looks like Bob
Wow.
Quinto is going to be your championship winner here tonight.
Congratulations to Bob Quinto on that championship win, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Congratulations there, Bob.
Going to take home the hardware.
Woo! Congratulations on that, Bob. We're going to see that second
There it
half.
is.
There we go. And that is our series champion there, ladies and gentlemen, Bob Quinto in that number 32 car. Congratulations, Bob. Great racing. Great job on the season. Congratulations on the championship.
Man, and we're official word here for that, but per my calculations, I'm no math magician, but I'm pretty sure he is going to take it home tonight.
Tim, I'm going to ask for an early Christmas present. Can we see a replay of that finish? Because I feel like the viewers...
Oh, yeah. An early Christmas present. I like that. That's funny.
See a replay of that finish, because that was quite the finish there from the boys there to end the season. And just a great driving all night, Tim. I'm really impressed by the guys tonight. You're going to see Ben Mashburn with a big aggressive move. Maybe he waited just a tad bit too long to try that big aggressive move there to the outside.
And here's
the see him come line here. Big run. But you almost think if Gracias would have got behind the 24 car and pushed just a little bit, it may have been enough. But
I think what Mashburn was attempting to do there was to pull off some air from the side of Vargas in that situation. So I believe that's what happened.
Vargas, though, but we're taking a look at your series champion, ladies and gentlemen. That is Bob Quinto in that number 32 car. Man, I'm going to love that. I'm kind of jealous of that custom diecast because I am a fan of purple, so it's going to look awesome on that custom diecast.
I'm going to pull Bob down.
That championship.
Hey, Bob, Tim, and Will up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hey, man.
Good.
What?
I mean, how's that champagne taste for that series champion?
I will gladly take that.
Man, congratulations!
How does that feel to be the series champion here after a big long season there?
Oh man, it's pretty wild. I not really sure what to think right now. This was such a blast. And funny enough, with the Total Nonstop Racing League, I'm usually the broadcaster, so every time I get to be down in the car, it's a good time. And man, this one feels pretty good. Not gonna lie.
Now, heading into tonight, I think it was a couple of days ago that, Darling said that he wasn't going to accept the championship, so on and so forth. How did that change your thought process heading into tonight's race?
I mean, honestly, I just wanted to have a clean race. I saw I was like 30-something points behind Chris, even before he said that he wasn't going to accept the championship and all that kind of stuff. And I just kind of said, you know what, I'm just going to keep my head down, get as many points, and just kind of be points positive. And at the end of the day, that's kind of what happened.
And you come home tonight. Sorry.
No,
ahead, Will.
I was gonna say, being a series champion, you kind of have the platform here. How fun for somebody who hasn't got the chance to play iRacing? How fun is this to go out and race against these guys and race in a league and take home this championship? How fun is this to do this on a week-to-week basis?
Man, it's an absolute blast. I love racing with these guys here at NSRA. It's such a great league, and everyone here is super cool to race with, really respectful and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's pretty awesome just being a part here and being able to compete every Wednesday here in the Super Speedway Series. That's makes it even more special.
Well, congratulations. Do you know this is the paint scheme you ran all year? Is this what you're going to throw on the car?
It is, yeah. It's my buddy's company, Polyhedral Cathedral. Any kind of Dungeons and Dragons and other nerdy stuff that you want to get laser engraved, dice made, dice towers, all that kind of stuff. You can check them out on all the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, all that at Polyhedral Cathedral. And this is definitely the one that I'll be getting the custom of.
I want to say thank you for that because I just I'm going to go follow because I'm a nerd and love that. So I never actually.
Well, we have you in Victory Lane here. You're celebrating your championship. Is there anybody else that you wanted to shout out? I know you shouted out your sponsor there. Is there anywhere else you wanted to give a shout out while we have you in championship Victory Lane here?
Yeah, absolutely. All the guys at Total Nonstop Racing, Garrett, Mike, Jason, Ryan, John, Tristan, Josh, anyone else, I apologize if I forgot, but they've been awesome, super helpful all season long. Just being there and helping me out and giving me tips and all that kind of stuff, and I really could not have done it without those guys.
Awesome. Well, congratulations once again. Once you get that car, I want to see a picture.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Well, have a great off season. I don't know how long it's going to be. It's funny. Your car is like moving on ice right now. But have a great off season, and hopefully we'll see you next season.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Congratulations there, Bob.
Thanks.
Bob Quinto bringing home the hardware tonight, man. What
champion.
He did everything that a champion needed to do here tonight. He needed to stay clean. He needed to finish ahead of Nate Moyer, finish ahead of Ben Mashburn. He didn't finish ahead of Mashburn, but he was able to finish far enough ahead. He had a big enough lead heading into tonight that he didn't have to completely worry about Mashburn. He just had to make sure he finished the race, and that is exactly what he did here tonight.
And I think about a few weeks ago, Tim, I believe right before Thanksgiving break, we saw Mashburn caught up in a late race accident. I believe he was running second or third when that late race accident happened. So we can only think had Mashburn taken home that victory, because I think he was running really strong. What may have played out in tonight's race, but we can all give all the credit to Bob and Quinto in that 32 car, taking home that series championship. And that second pack ran behind the leaders all night, but he was able to come out with that P10, top 10 finish there in our series champion. So great way to kind of lock out that championship. And man, what a race tonight, Tim. You always bring me on for the great broadcast, the exciting races. So,
we're going to go.
It's always a treat to see these boys run, and hopefully we're back next year for the next series or next season of this, because man, it was a treat to watch these boys race here for the last 4 weeks or so.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and bring in the top 3 finishers from this race to talk to them. We're going to go ahead and bring in John. John, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Okay, John. First and foremost, because I feel like a terrible broadcaster, I want to make sure I'm not butchering your last name. How do you say it?
Canizero.
Canizero.
If it ever makes you feel bad, don't worry. I've never heard a single person once say it right.
But now that I see your name on Discord, I think I'm going to call you. I'm just going to stick to calling you Wild Child. I like that.
That's the nickname I was starting to grow.
So, what a fantastic race here tonight. Able to bring it home in third place in that 174. Kind of take me through. You won earlier this season. How did you go into tonight bringing home a top 3?
I mean, unlike what I usually do, it's try to stay at the front all I want, but you can't really do that anymore at the season finale. You have to preserve your stuff, otherwise you're going to be in the big one, and we didn't actually have one. We only had a small one, so it's just strategy. Overshot my box twice, actually technically only once. The second time, I barely got in it, and iRacing let me. So just strategy and survival. Just
Thanks, iRacing. The times that it
About
doesn't screw you
strategy
over.
there, yeah, we saw you guys in that front pack there kind of separated. I think at one point, Tim, we saw about an 18-second lead between the lead pack and that second pack there. Did you feel like there was a lot of speed in that front pack? Did you feel like there was a lot of aggressive driving going on that you guys were kind of pulling away from everybody else?
well, everybody in that front pack, like me, Jason, and Ryan, we're all in the Discord together, so obviously we can communicate easily. Ben, Chris, when he was there before he unfortunately wrecked, we all know each other. We all know what we can do to start pulling away. So it's just good minds think alike. We thankfully pulled away and got to put on a good show. Having too big of a pack, obviously that probably would have caused a wreck if we had a big pack there at the end, but we kept it together.
Well, you did a
I
great
wouldn't be
job.
reminiscent if I had you on the interview here. I'm sorry there, Tim. If I had
No,
you on
you're
the
good.
interview here, and again, I just want to say thank you for running that paint scheme again. I know that's my grandfather's paint scheme there, so reminisce if I didn't mention that to you here in the interview room. So appreciate
You're welcome. I do run it often, not usually in leagues though, because I have a specific scheme. But just final season, bring that one more time.
That's awesome.
it.
I
All right, well,
remember
we
last
have you
week
in.
when he saw it and he was really excited. I was like, I totally forgot about that.
Oh yeah, that's so cool, man. Anybody that you wanted to shout out while we have you in top 3 positions tonight, podium finish? Anybody want to shout out tonight?
Obviously, my father. If I don't shout at him, I'll probably get a upsetting phone call in about 5 minutes. You guys for putting up. Yeah, I said the season's over, not the race. We're gonna. I didn't say that. Just you guys
Right.
put on the broadcast. It's always fun getting interviewed by you guys, especially with the paint scheme now. I guess I can make that my trademark for the series. Colin, he puts on the the season for us. I was a funny administrator. Sometimes it's debatable if he is the administrator. I still get to wreck him though, so that's just everybody else in the league. It's fun racing these guys.
Well, awesome. Congratulations. Finishing the season out with a top 3, and we'll see you next season, hopefully.
Yep.
Thanks, John.
There you go. Happy holidays and great finish.
Yep. You too.
And that
That was
was
the wild child.
the Wild Child. I love that. That's
Yeah,
great.
I was gonna say if you wanted to give his last name a go, go for it. But that was the wild child. I guess we could say finishing in P3 there. Great run by him, as he was talking about. It was that front pack. They communicated with each other. They held it down, and before you bring
Yep.
in Vargas here, man, that was teamwork at its finest because they were pulled away about 20 seconds. But I'm excited to talk to our race winner.
Well, we're talking to Ben Mashburn first because he brings home second place.
P2. There we go. Hey, close to
Ben,
that victory though. Ben, take us through how that race kind of played out for you there.
Just obviously starting from the back. That's usually how I like to play Speedway. It's
started
more
from the
fun
bottom.
for
Now
me.
we're here. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fun for me to start from the back and kind of finagle my way through the front. So that was fun. Just kind of try to stay up there with the lead pack. It was a clean race for the most part, so you could tell you're kind of safe up front. There's some races you can tell you need to move it to the back for a little bit, but this was a pretty clean race.
Yeah, I think
It was-
those green flag pit stops really helped distance you guys from that second pack. I mean, it looked like, were you concerned on pit road that last pit stop, green flag pit stop?
yeah,
It looked
yeah,
scary.
I said it. I had come across the 9. I said it on across our Discord. I said, "Oh, I cooked it into there." So I was kind of scared, but I don't know how I did. I think I was at like, I don't know. I think I was at like 63, 64. I think coming across the line. So I really don't know how I didn't get one, but I definitely cooked it.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I locked up the tires. So whatever, it all worked out.
Man, so heading into the race, you had your eyes on the prize. If something bad happened to Bob or anything bad happened to Nate, you maybe, I mean, it would have been close.
Yeah, mathematically, I think I was still in it. But
Yeah,
I don't know. It wasn't really a thought of mine. I was just out there to have fun and finish the season strong. And suppose we did that, can't win them all. I mean, I guess you take a second place behind an Xfinity driver. So.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's a win in my book.
Right, for sure.
Right, and we saw that. We think we spoke to the Wild Child in P3. We tried to do his last name, but I think we both butchered it pretty good. He spoke about a lot of strategy, a lot of communication between you guys in that front pack there. Is that what you kind of felt between you guys, or it was like who can kind of tandem off? Who'd you feel like was the best guy to work with in that front pack there?
Uh, you could kind of tell we were all kind of just trying to keep each other as far as away from everybody else and kind of pick up a lead if we can. So, I mean, if somebody got hot, we gave each other space, stuff like that. So we were all kind of working, it all worked out. And then coming to pit road, we all kind of pit together and we all gave each other space on pit road, coming to pit road. So that was important for sure. I obviously I look to work for certain people. Uh, you get comfortable with certain people in super speedways. I'm super duper comfortable with Gracias, so he was fun to work with. Vargas, he was fun to ride behind the entire time. So I tried to, if I was behind somebody or in front of somebody, I was trying to stay in front of either Vargas or Gracias the entire time, and it all worked out.
Yeah, we saw really aggressive racing there on the final lap, coming around 3 and 4. Kind of take us through the move you made on that front stretch there to kind of whip out to the outside, try to take the lead.
Yeah, like I said, it was. I think I waited too long coming out of 3. The goal was to get Vargas and me up as far as we could. And I kind of just waited too long to come out. I think if I would have came out in 3 or 4 a little bit sooner, Gracias probably would have came out behind me and probably could have won. But it's all good. Like I said, it was fun. At least get a podium finish. Uh, that's always a fun thing. Good way to end the season for sure.
Well, congratulations again. Anybody want to give it a shout out to?
You guys did a heck of a job this season, broadcasting all season long. We definitely appreciate it. Shout out to the whole league, obviously, Phillips Golf Academy, Taz Racing Customs, everybody that puts hard money and effort into the series, putting it on. Definitely appreciate it. It's cool that Vargas gets out here and races with us. Huge shout out to him. It's always cool to share the track with the actual race driver, since we all think we're actual race car drivers.
Hey, the past 2 weeks he's raced with y'all held it down. So
yeah, so it's good to represent. It's fun. He seems like he enjoys it, so it's definitely a two-way street, which is good. So, good season. Had a heck of a lot of fun, that's for sure. Can't wait till next season.
All right, thanks, Mashburn. Have a great off season, and hopefully we'll see you next season.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate it. You guys have a good rest of your night.
You too. Thanks, Ben. Ben Mashburn comes home
so close to him. So
with
close to the 24
car. 2 wins on the season, 4 top 5s, 6 top 10s. Had a good season.
Great season. That's nothing to take away, because he came just far away from that win tonight.
Yeah,
that would have made it very interesting. But
we're gonna go ahead and
great season by all these guys.
Yeah,
because just in the 4 weeks that I was able to broadcast with you, Tim, we saw a lot of different guys up in the lead, a lot of different guys running in the top 10. So it's very competitive. We're not seeing a lot of guys dominate in this league. We're seeing guys win and another guy win. Maybe another guy wins 2 weeks in a row. So this has just been awesome. This has been a treat, and I can't wait to speak to our race winner if we can get him in here.
And now we're going to go ahead and bring our race winner in here. Ryan Vargas brings it home for win number 2. 2 starts, 2 wins. Welcome to the league, Ryan.
All luck. It's all luck. I promise. I'm not that great at this stuff. But no, it's been fun. I appreciate league admins welcoming me into the league like this and just kind of letting me have some fun. Literally last week, it just kind of came from a tweet. I've been saying all the time, I've been wanting to run some other leagues and stuff and just have some fun. Have another thing to do when I get home from work and stuff like that. So this has been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it. These guys are all class act drivers. I have nothing other than great things to say. I mean, this has been a ton of fun racing in this.
Yeah, and that was you all were able to jump out to a huge lead there after this first round of green flag pit stops. Kind of take me through, what does it take to keep that lead pack, competitive, but trying to stay ahead of, the rest of the guys so they don't catch up and it doesn't turn into a huge battle.
It's really what it turns into. What you really do, it's when the race has such a long green flag run like we had tonight, it comes down to pit stops. It always comes down to pit stops. And so luckily I was was Jason, he welcomed me into their Discord channel, and so I was able to kind of help strategize with them as to when we all wanted to pit, and it worked. We all pitted very well. Everyone was really good getting on the brakes and not running over each other, and it just worked. Everything was executed to perfection. Really, it was going to come down to any one of us, and that's really what happened there at the finish.
Awesome. Well, I know the guys appreciate you stopping by. What do you do during the off season? I mean, it's
it's kind of split. I'll either spend time at home doing emails, phone calls, meetings, or I'll go to the shop, the JD shop, and help work on the car. Like today, I was there at the shop, taking care of all the windshields and stuff with the banners and stuff like that, and helping with moving tires around and stuff like that. So
Nice.
it varies from day to day. But
Tim, there's no off season.
I say,
Not for those guys.
Exactly. I mean, honestly, once Phoenix ended, the real work honestly started.
That's true.
The work you do in the off season is so imperative to how your season goes.
Awesome. Well,
now with it being the season finale of tonight's race, did you kind of feel that competitiveness or that fire from those guys tonight up there in that lead pack that they kind of wanted to take that victory tonight in the season finale?
I felt the fire last week too. I mean, it's these guys, they race really good. I mean, it's like the only reason why I won these races is just right place at the right time. Like I was with 3 to go in this race, I didn't think I was going to win because I had been shuffled back to 5th and I didn't think I'd be able to mount a charge big enough, but because of the help and from the push from Ben Mashburn, I was able to kind of put myself in a better spot and capitalize, and it got me clear, got me into the lead, and I was just able to protect the rest of the way.
Oh, man. Well, great win there, Ryan. Anybody wanted to shout out while we have you in victory lane here?
Yeah. Well, you see the very festive paint scheme I had tonight. Big shout out to Swan Security for them sponsoring me in real life, as well as kind of adorning my sim racing car. Maintenex, all the partners. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, congratulations.
On tonight's win there, Ryan.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's good.
It's all right.
That's good. It's like a
it's a big win.
We're like parrots over here.
No, that was a lot of fun. Thank you guys.
Yeah, great win and congratulations and good luck next season.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yes, sir. Happy holidays to you, Ryan. Good luck.
Happy holidays, you guys.
And that was Ryan Vargas, our 2 weeks in a row winner here. So, man,
Yes,
end of the season, Will. I can't believe it. That came quick.
It did. It came really quick, Tim. And unfortunately, it's over for us for this series, for this season. We'll be back, though, if you can tune in to check us out on 10-4 Broadcasting. Go to YouTube, Facebook, all that good stuff. We definitely have some things coming down the pipeline, doing some more races, good things like that. But tonight's race, just to give a little recap, man, that was saw caution early in the race, about 6 or 7 laps in. Other than that, it was green flag wide open. As we heard from Ryan there talk about strategy, it really did come down to pit stops there, because during that pit window is when we saw that field kind of reshuffle and the gap form. I think we talked about it was about 18-second gap there, but didn't take away from the competitiveness at all, because we saw about a 7-8 car pack there run really competitive all the way to the finish line there. We saw Ryan Vargas take the season finale victory there, but we saw Bob Quinto take the series championship in that custom diecast. Man, Tim, awesome for having me on here.
Man, I'm so glad that you were able to come on board. It's been nothing but fun, and I appreciate everything you've brought to the broadcast. It's been a ton of fun, and I can't wait for more
Of
things
course. Oh man, it's the blast.
here on 10-4. But from all of us here at 10-4 Broadcasting, again, want to thank you guys for tuning in. When we find out more about the next season series for these guys in the Super Speedway, we'll let you guys know. And for one last time, of course, we want to say thank you to all the sponsors. I want to say thank you to Brookstone Animal Hospital for coming on board this season. Make sure you check them out on all social media, Facebook. And want to say thank you to Max Graphics. Chris Darling does a wonderful job on paint schemes for iRacing. Make sure you check them out on Facebook as well. Want to say thanks to Taz Racing Customs for coming on board and providing the hardware for the end of the season. Can't wait to see Bob's car turned into a die-cast. That's going to be awesome. Huge shout out to them. Make sure you check them out. Cars look great. Steven Doziak showed us his car that he got, and I can't wait to get one myself. Make sure you check them out on Facebook.
I was going to say, I don't know what the turnaround is for Christmas orders, but if you definitely want a cool Christmas present for a racing fan or everything,
That's
definitely
true.
check out Taz Racing Customs. They'll get you one. They'll get you one of those cool gifts that won't be a gift card or a pair of socks. It'll be a cool gift that someone will make. So go check out Taz Racing Customs.
That's good. Maybe they'll send you custom socks too. That's a good idea.
Hey, who knows? Go on there, check them out, and see what they can order for you.
And then, of course, we want to say thank you to the Beer Street Journal, the best in beer. Make sure you check them out at beerstreetjournal.com. And last but not least, want to give a huge shout out to Phillips Golf Academy for sponsoring this Super Speedway series, fueled by KRM. Make sure you check them out online as well. But in the meantime, from all of us here at 10-4 Broadcasting, I want to thank